Hello, let me know if you can hear me. Please type something in the comments. Let me know whether you can hear me. Uh, all right, let me know in the comments if you can hear me. I'm just trying to send a message to the people who are on the list on WhatsApp to let them know that we are live so they can join us. All right. Yes, somebody said I can. Gloria said I can't hear you. Okay, that's great. So just a few more seconds. Let me just try to reach these people, send them a message, and then we are good to go. All right. Good evening, Pioneer Graphics, and then El Baski. Uh, Good evening, Happy New Year, everyone. Yeah, Happy New Year to you too. Welcome to the second day of our event. It's going to be another interesting day. Uh, for the next 45 minutes or so, we are going to be going into how we want to plan the year, how we want it to look like. And I want you to be ready. And also, let's make it interactive, okay? Let's make it interactive because um, it's not just me, but we want to do this together. So, as I said in all the write up that I've sent to you since started pushing out this event, this is uh, only what has worked for me. Okay, I have read a ton of stuff, and I've also attended a lot of conferences in the past and heard so many things. But it's only what has worked for me that I'm sharing with you. That is very important. And I don't just put out stuff like that. Probably heard something from somewhere. No, I try and then you know what has worked is what I push out. So when I was preparing for this event, I was looking back at my diary from like 5 years ago, 2015, 2016, 2017. Those are the things that I was looking at. I was looking at how I implemented this thing I'm talking about, how I did it. All right. And if you were not you were not there yesterday, you didn't join us. We did a Zoom meeting yesterday because I couldn't go live on uh, YouTube yesterday. We had to use Zoom yesterday, but today, thank God, we are able to use YouTube. My YouTube is working very well today, so thank God for that. And if you were not able to get that recording for yesterday, if you're able to reach me on WhatsApp, please send me a hi on WhatsApp or just let me know that you were not able to get that yesterday, and I will gladly send you another. I'll send the audio to you again. So what I'm trying to do right now is that I'm just trying to send a notification to all those people on my WhatsApp, and then um, yeah, almost 3,000 people on the list I have on WhatsApp. Well, not all of them are on the list anyway. I'm just sending them so we can have a few people joining us. If you are joining us, please indicate in the comments. Just say hi in the comments. We want to see. You want to know who and who are joining us want to say hi to you before we get started. All right. So thank you very much. Let me just send to this last one and then we go. So you can equally share this link with other people so you can join. You can equally share this link with them so they can join us, right? Okay. So where is my notepad? We are ready to begin. So once again, thank you very much for joining us in this second day of the Start Right online conference. I'm very glad to have all of you here. We have Gloria, we have CY, we have Albaski, we have Pioneer, we have Frank Doche, we have Richard Tete, we have Favor, um, Dekwe, all of you amazing people, and all the rest of you. We have Peter, we have all of you here joining. It's a privilege to have all of you here. So right away, we are going to probably have a recap of what we learned yesterday. Then we zoom in. I have about 45 minutes to share with you. And so I have something else to share with you today. And I'll be talking about how to make 2021 your best year ever. The best strategies are going to be revealed to you this evening, right? So yesterday we talked about how to have a review of your past year. And we said review is very important to have a great year. If you want to have a great year, you want to review the past to look at what worked, what did not work for you, and then based on that, you now set a new strategy for your new year. Very, very important. And we looked at how, 8 different steps that we can use to achieve all of that. And I believe that somebody took their time in the night to do all that. If you have not done it after today's meeting, please make sure you take those points one after the other, and then okay. Okay. All right. So take those points one after the other and then use them, and answer them as honest as you can. Be very honest with yourself. This is something private. It's not something you should be showing to people, right? It's something very private. And okay. So there are some people who are not able to join us in this broadcast. It's probably because they are using YouTube Go, the light version of the app. Okay, some of them are sending me feeds on WhatsApp. They are sending me feedback on WhatsApp. Um, Let me ask them to use their browser. All right. All right. So we are moving on from what we did yesterday, and today we are looking at how to make 2021 your best year ever. Okay. 2021, when I say your best year ever, it doesn't mean that you know the next year won't also be best. For now in your life, you want to make 2021 your best year ever. In 2022, you also want to make 2022 your best year ever because you want to be progressing, you want to be improving from where you are, where you are currently to the next level. All right. So 2021 is the time you are in right now. You want to make this your best year ever. Okay, and then you move on from there, make other years that will come after this your best year as well. Very important, right? So what are some of the strategies that has worked for me? What are some of the ways you can achieve this? Number one is what I'm going to share with you right now. Number one is that you must create a theme for your year. Very important. If you have your notebook over there, you have your notepad, your writing material, please put this down. You must have a theme for the year. THEME. You must have a theme for the year. Now, you wonder why churches have theme for their year. They declare it on New Year's Eve. They declare their theme for the year. All right. It's our year of favor. It's our year of this. It's our year of that. It's our year of this. Our year of that. You see all kinds of banners around town where churches have all these things written on them, just to give a direction for the year. All right, and they tell you that it is God who has spoken to them concerning that, and so that tells you that God is a God of what? Order. He gives direction. I mean, you have an entire lifetime to fulfill your destiny, right, or fulfill your vision for living. But in that particular year, there is something God wants you to focus on. That is why you see churches doing that. The same way, when you come to your own life, you want to make sure that there's a particular direction that you want to tow for a year. After that, you move on to another one. All right. You can't possibly do everything in one year. So it's the same thing I do. All right. Forgive me. Some people are still sending me some messages on WhatsApp telling me the challenges they are facing. It's a 1 month conference, so please forgive me on that. Uh, okay, so sorry about that. Yes, so I was talking about the fact that churches give things for their year, okay? The year of favor, the year of enlargement, the year of supernatural favor, the year of whatever your church has given to, or whatever religious, you know, sect you belong to. I don't know whether they do that in other religions, but Christians, we do that, right? And it's for a singular purpose, this singular purpose of giving direction to whatever you want to do in that year, all right? It gives that direction to you. Right. So in our individual lives as well, we must endeavor to put a theme for the year. That sums up what you want to focus on for that year. You know yourself, right? There are some years that I remember some of my things from the past. I remember I had 1 year of foundation. I think that was when I was in the final year in the university. I wanted to lay a good foundation for my life after school. So I had a year of foundation. I once had a year of power. Last year was my year of impact and income. All right. And this year is my year of wealth. All right. Yes. So these are some of the things that you want to focus on. They are just some direction that you want to tow for that particular that will inform the kind of things you do, the kind of habits you want to cultivate, the kind of skills you want to build for that particular year. Very, very important, right? So right now you must start thinking about what theme to give to the year 2021 as an individual. All right. What theme do you give to your year? What exactly do you want to focus on for 2021? Do you want to focus on making money? Do you want to focus on building good habits? Do you want to focus on living a healthy life? What exactly do you want to do in 2021? That should determine the theme you give to this year. Very, very important. So if you are here, you have a writing material, start thinking about what your year should be about, and you put something down on that writing material. These are practical things that you should do, right? I'm thinking about having a longer mentorship session with you guys, even after this conference ends, and I'm going to be looking into how to help you, even in a longer time frame. Just not just after these 3 days is over, but I'm seeing how to adjust all that into my schedule for the year. So number one, create a theme for your year. Very, very important. And then number two, if you're writing, number two, pick one habit that agrees with your theme. All right. So if you have a theme that, for example, my theme is wealth for the year, there then what is one habit, this one where you want to think about, what exactly to do? What is one habit that agrees with your theme? So wealth, what habit goes with wealth? Of course, if you want to create wealth, then you must plan your finances very well. All right, you must plan your finances very well. You must be very diligent when it comes to money. Okay, you must be very diligent when it comes to your money management. All right. So that is one habit. That is something I've been struggling with in the past. So this year, I want to focus on that, building that habit. All right. So pick one habit. If you want to have a year of health and wellness, then what habit agrees with that? It may be one, it may be two, it may be three habits you put together to make sure you agree, you achieve that. What I'm trying to convey with this is that, you see, most people just throw things into the air. As I said yesterday, they tell you on New Year, they say all kinds of things. Happy New Year! This year is our year of prosperity. It's year of this, year of that. They say all kinds of things, and at the end of it all, they don't have any actionable plan to achieve that. And that is what we don't want to do. We want to be very intentional with everything that we are doing. So when we say that this year we want to achieve so and so result, we want to know how exactly we want to achieve it, right? So we are saying that we must have a theme for the year. Then the next thing is that we must put down the various habits. What habit do we want to cultivate in order to achieve that? Very, very important. If you are understanding what I'm saying, please leave a comment. We want this to be very interactive. So I want to see you in the comment. If you are hearing me, if you are learning something new, whatever is happening with you, let me know in the comment. Be very active in the comment, right? This is as just as a conference that you have in an auditorium where you'll be talking and people will be giving you feedback, right? So please be active in the comment section. Let me, as I check what exactly are people's concern here on WhatsApp. Okay, I think we are good. All right. Somebody said, don't be discouraged about your audience. If you are talking to 50 people, it means that you are talking to a classroom. If you are talking to, I think, 100 people, you are talking to an auditorium. And if it's 1,000 people, it's a stadium. I think something around that line, right? So you shouldn't be discouraged about the kind of audience you have. All right. Somebody, Oluwaseun says it's becoming interesting. I think let me just turn on YouTube on my phone so I can read the comments very well. Sorry, I unmuted myself. All right. So let's go. Let's move on from there. We talk about having a theme. Now, about having a theme, there's something I want to touch on. Go back and touch on with that. When you talk about having a theme for your year, you must also consider breaking down the theme you want to have for that year. Okay, you want to consider breaking down that theme. Okay, when you say this is your year of wealth, why is that? Right? What is the focus? So normally I give myself 3 reasons. Right? Somebody said, I can hear you. You are making a lot of sense. Thank you very much, Mr. Achuganyo. Right? So you want to break it down. Your year, so if it's your year of health and wellness, why is that? So normally I give myself I put down 3 reasons why I'm giving that theme to the year, or what areas I'm going to focus on. All right. So the theme comes, then reasons or areas that I'll focus on as far as that theme is concerned. Right. So you want to do that. Then you pick a habit that you want to build in order to help you achieve that direction that you want to have in your life. Very, very important. If you don't have the required habits, all you are saying is just you're just saying it, right? There's nothing, because it's a habit that will help you achieve that. If you don't have the required habit, you don't achieve it. So you want to put down what exactly you want to do in order to achieve that. Number 3, right now we're going to the bigger stuff. Number 3 is to create a vision board. Number 3 is to create a vision board, right? So somebody said, nice one. Mr. Kofi Akbabi said, nice one. Favor says, I can hear you loud and clear, following clearly. Thank you very much, all of you, for dropping your comments, right? So I'm talking about number 3, you must have what? A vision board. Very, very important. See, one of the things that have actually helped me in my life is that I have decided to do certain things, and then I made sure that every day when I wake up, I see what I want to achieve. Very important. right? You want to make sure that every time you are seeing what you want to do. So I remember one time, so some years ago, I think 4 years ago or so, I wanted to be very diligent, right? I wanted to focus on a few things, like very diligent and work really hard, right? So what I did was that on top of my mirror, I put the this scripture in the Bible, Proverbs 22 and the verse 29, right? One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. Okay, so I put that on my mirror, and because I know what that scripture says, right? It says, seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall appear before kings and not mean men. So because I know that, I put that on top of my mirror, and every day I'm going to look at the mirror. So I go to the mirror, then I didn't have even a vision board, as you take time and put it all together. But I go to the mirror, and once I look at that scripture, it reminds me that I need to get to work, right? Then it's a constant reminder that I need to do something. Very, very important. So a vision board is very important. I remember the first time I did a real vision board was in the year 2017, right? And all I needed was a manila card, right? That's full size manila card. Put it there and stick some things on it. You can use the same thing for what I'm going to talk about later, where you can put your goals on that. All right. You can have a board as I have here. Okay. You can use that board and put some things on it. Right. Now, if you have a computer, you can use a computer to create a vision board. All right. Your computer desktop can serve as your vision board. Now, all we are saying is that there should be something that you have around in your room that you look at every time, that gives you a reminder of the vision you want to accomplish, of the goals you want to achieve, right? So if you have a favorite mentor, so on my phone, there's this picture on my phone, right? On the home screen of my phone, the wallpaper of my phone, even in my WhatsApp wallpaper, I have these things at vantage places, so that each day I am reminded of what I want to achieve in life. There are some people that you want to put their picture on your desktop. There are some pictures of your favorite car you want to buy this year. Put it on your desktop. Anytime you open your laptop, you see that picture, it reminds you of the goal you want to achieve. In simple terms, that is what a vision board is, right? It's something that you look at every time. Looking at it every time triggers your mind that, hey, something must happen. I must get on to work to do this right now. Very, very important, right? So create a vision board. I'm not going to walk you that sophisticated method of putting together a vision board and all of that, but I'm just telling you, the whole point of having a vision board is to pin down that goal, right? You pin down that thing that you want to do in your life in that year. It can be for a lifetime. Right now, we're just focusing on 1 year, right? You put it down somewhere, and then you are looking at it, okay? So that when you wake up, it can be on your mirror, it can be on your bedside, it can be anywhere in your room, it can be even on your phone, as I give you an example, right? So that for at least in every day you look at it at least once, then it triggers your mind that, hey, I must get to work. Because far too often we forget. We forget that we said something on January 1st. And most of us don't write it down. That is why we are having this conference. That's why you have to do all the review you did yesterday. That is why we are still talking about this thing today. That is why you must write down the theme of your year. That is why even your theme of the year must be written boldly in your room, right? The theme of the year must be written boldly in your room. I used to have papers stuck, on the wall all over my room. Before I even had a notice board in my room, I used to have papers on the wall everywhere with scriptures on it to remind me, with quotes on it to remind me of what I'm supposed to do. Stuck it on your fridge. It should be on your door, on your mirror, on your wall. It should be at everywhere in the room where you go to, where you can see it every day, right? Very important. I didn't put this library stand in my room for to serve as a background for my videos. No, I put this there to remind me to be reading every day, right? I have books everywhere in my room to serve as a reminder that I must read every day. So when I wake up and I see all these books on my library, and then it triggers my what I have this thing here and I'm not reading. I pick it up and I pick something up and I start reading. Right? It's very, very important. Because of time, move on to the next point. Right? So number 4 here today, we are talking about focus on one thing, right? Or just a few things. Listen, you can have so many things to achieve. Normally, I have, in my experience in dealing with visions, setting goals and achieving goals in a year, one thing I have realized is that most of the time we have so many things, we write so many things down, and we end up not achieving any of them, right? The good thing or the best thing that I have done, I have been at that side before where in a particular year I overload myself. I remember even when I was a student and I was doing business on the side, I would plan so many things for the year and I end up not doing a lot of things. End up feeling so bad about, all these things, right? And so I decided to change the things, decided to focus on a few things. So very important, focus on just a few things. Last year, I decided to focus on only a few skills. Instead, I planned on 4 skills, but I then reduced it to 2, right? And before the year ended, I added an additional skill, well, which came accidentally because I had another goal, which was to start putting videos on YouTube because video is a big thing right now, right? I decided to stop doing text, writing articles, and start doing videos. And because of that, I needed to use 3 months to learn video editing. All right. And so that became an additional skill I added to the skills that I wanted to have in that year. Now, one thing that this does to you as a human being is that it brings joy to you. When you set your expectation or you set your goals to just a few and you end up achieving more or you end up doing them very well, you become happy, right? And then you have renewed motivation to actually pursue another thing another time or pick up another thing. But when you overload yourself and say, I'm doing these 5, 10 things, right? And then you go on and you are not able to do all those things, you are able to do only 2. You feel that you did not achieve anything, right? You feel that you have failed. So it's very important to focus, not to to have to do a lot of things, so many things. You're not competing with anybody, right? You have a whole lifetime to do whatever you want to do, but you want to focus on just a few things per time. And then once you are done with that, then you set another goal again. That is why I advise that even though we are setting goals for the whole of 2021, take your year bit by bit. I have a point like that later on, but let me just touch on it right now because of time. You must take your year in bits. All right? You have the first month. You can break it down into quarters. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, the fourth quarter, right? You can then take it. I normally use months. Okay, so months, I have 4 weeks. What am I doing in this month of January? Okay, what am I doing in February? What am I doing in March? What am I doing in April? You plan it that way. So you break it down. So it's no longer something really, really huge. And normally when it comes to skills, I give myself 3 months for one skill, right? After that 3 months, if I feel that I have gotten the basics, I want to really improve on it, then I give myself another 3 months to master the skill that I need for what I want to achieve. So very important, don't overload yourself. Focus on one thing or just a few things. This year, I am only concentrating on what? Wealth. All right. It doesn't mean that I won't do free stuff. Okay. I'm doing this conference for free. All right. But my plan this month is that I want to raise the figures. Okay. So what do I need to do? I'm not talking. It doesn't mean that this year I won't pray. It doesn't mean that in fact, if you want to be wealthy, you want to pray. You want to do. If you're a spiritual person, you must understand that wealth has a spiritual backing. All right. So yes, you pray, you read your Bible, you read books. You do all the normal stuff that you want to do, but there's a focus that I want to make wealth. So this year, yesterday, I started a coaching program with my mentor. And then one of the books that we're supposed to read is this book, right? The Millionaire Fast Lane. And I've started reading my own, I started reading today, and the things I'm discovering about wealth are so amazing, right? So when you decide on what you want to achieve, then you start putting the effort. But my point here is that don't overload yourself. Streamline it, make it small, and then when you are done with that, you have the renewed motivation to go on, right? Good. So the next point, which is number 5, is that you must be clear on what your best year looks like. Be very clear on if you want to have a best year ever, right? What does your best year look like, right? What will signify that you have the best year? All right. So you want to look at 31st December 2021. What are some of the things that you want to gather or to have in your life to signify or to show to you that you've had the best year? Is it the fact that you get married? Is it the fact that you have a new car? Is it the fact that you have a new job? Is it the fact that you earn an amount of money? Is it the fact that you've written your own book? What exactly do you want in your life that would show to you or let you understand that you have had your best year? And you must put all that down. All right, you must write that down. What exactly will show? What will be your end goal? So you write it down. By the end of 2021, present tense, I have, or as at 31st December 2021, I have made 20 million. I have made 50,000 Ghana cedis. I have made so and so money. I have done so and so. I have completed this. I have done this. Whatever you want, sum it up as an objective, right? You write it in the present tense, not that by I will. No, you write it down as it has been already achieved. So you want to look at the ideal situation for you. What should that look like? All right. And then after you have put that down, I won't tell you what I put down myself. Okay. It's confidential. Okay. So be clear on exactly what it will look like in all facets of your life. And I advise that do not just make your goals to be one-sided. Your goals are only about finance. Your goals are only about career. No, your goals should be spread across different aspects of your life to live a very balanced life. Now, when I say that you should have a theme for the year, it doesn't mean that you restrict yourself. For you to achieve that goal for the year, you must have a balanced life. For example, you can't achieve wealth if you are having a shaky relationship, right? If your relationship is going bad, you can't achieve wealth or whatever you have planned for that year. If you want to grow in your business in a particular year, and then your spiritual life is not in order, you cannot actually achieve that. You may not be able to let me put it that way. You may not be able to do very well if you don't have your life in order. So it's very important that you have all that. I'm not saying that because you have set a particular thing for the year, then it means that that's all you do. No. Let me tell you one story. When I was in senior high school, right? So I'm sure there's nobody from my senior high school here in this broadcast, so that they won't get offended. In my class, there used to be these guys in my class, so I was in the business class, and then in the business class, these sharp guys, they're always with their books, and we do elective mathematics, we do accounting, and some other subjects, right? So you see these guys every day at preps. They either have commerce textbook with them, they are either learn elective maths. It's just a few subjects that they learn. They are all about the accounting, elective maths, commerce, and that's it. You not see them learning English. You don't see them learning integrated science. You don't see them learning social studies. You don't see them learning any other of the subjects that they do. They are always with the calculation, and what is difficult for others they are always showing their strength in that, in those subjects, and learning that all the time, right? So, for me, on the other hand, my strength is where, um, I say I have a lot more strength in where they are rather weak. So I taught the class in integrated science, in English, in social studies, and those other subjects. And it's highly competitive when it comes to those subjects where they are very good. And these guys always take the first positions. And I wasn't bothered, right? I was just looking out for to have a very balanced studies. So I am equally learning all those other subjects. And that's what happened, was that when our results came, they had very good grades in the subject that they were focusing on. They had A's and B's in those subjects. And then in the ones that they were not focusing on, they trailed in those ones. And now, when you put together the overall grade, you realize that it became very high. All right, that means that they didn't do well in the entire thing. Then I had somehow good to average in, I mean, the good ones as well as the ones I also studied. And so when you put together my overall grade, then I became better than them. And they were surprised. How come this guy was able to, do better than us? It's because I balanced my studies, right? And I took that same principle into life after school. Live a balanced life. In the relationship, be good, right? Try to work on that. Read books on relationship, work on relationship. In your finance, be good. In career, know what works and work it, right? Very, very important. Let's move with speed right now. And I would like to talk about the next thing, which is number 6, I believe. You must identify people with the kind of results that you are looking for. So, in the point number 5, we talked about the fact that you must clearly define what exactly you want to achieve in that year, what exactly your ideal or your best year should look at. Now, you can't deny the fact that there are people out there who have already achieved what you want to achieve, right? And from the get-go, your job is to locate those people and now start learning from them. All right? You can either learn from them directly or indirectly. Another way to do that is to locate resources that will help you to achieve what you want to achieve. So why am I reading The Millionaire Fast Lane? Why am I revisiting these books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Why am I reading all these books about making a million? Because I want to make that million. All right. I want to really make those 6 figures. I want to really make it. Right. So I'm learning from these people who were ordinary guys like me, but they were able to use the principles and be able to make this, achieve this goal. So I'm learning from their experience. We identify those people and begin to tap from their experiences. Then finally, something I talked about before is to break 2021 into smaller chunks. Break your year into smaller chunks. Listen, goal setting is not something you only do on 31st December or 1st January. No, goal setting is what you do every day if you want to succeed. Goal setting and goal working is something you do every day, right? At the beginning of every day, something I learned from Brian Tracy, you must set goals. Before you go to sleep the previous night, you must have goals for the next day. What you want to do in that day, right? So this night, you have a goal for what you want to achieve tomorrow, and you do that, right? And at the end of every month, you look at, because you see, when you have an overall goal for the year, once you are going, there will be chances for adjustments. All right. That is why companies have a budget for the entire year, but as they are going, they review and then have other adjustments as they are going. Because now, last year, we didn't know COVID was going to come in March, but COVID came in March and we needed to adjust. So things will always come through, right? And then you have to then adjust. So probably you plan that you were going to do something in January and then something happened, you were not able to do it. Then you now move on to February, but you include that again, or you were able to do too much in January, then you know that, okay, you want to bring something new in February. There was an opportunity, and then there's something else you wanted to do, learn a new skill, and so you go ahead and do that. So very, very important. These are some of the things that you must consider. Goals setting is it must be your lifestyle, right? You must have a book that you put down your goals. I'm not going to tell you about to-do list and all of that. I am not so much of a believer in having an accurate to-do list. All right, I write down things I must do on a daily basis, but I don't journal the way other people do. Okay, and whatever works for you. If you are very meticulous like that, fine. If you are not, it's not a big deal. But make sure that at the beginning of whether each day, every week, every month, every quarter, or whatever, you have a direction, right? Clearly what you want to do, and then you follow through to do it. If you are unable to do it, all hope is not lost. You get back to it again, and then you do it. Somebody is asking me to take point 6 again. Point 6 is identify people with experiences that you want to have. So point 5 and point 6 are kind of together. All right. So you want to be clear on what your best year will look like, which is point 5. Okay, define clearly what your best year will look like. Then in point 6, you must identify people who have such experiences. All right. For example, I I want to make certain amount of money in 2021, and then I have gone on to identify that MJ DeMarco's book, or I mean, not even MJ DeMarco, my mentor has made millions last year, and he wants to make a billion this year. That is where he was. Okay, is where I want to go. Are you getting it? So then I have to quickly sign up for his class, his coaching. Now, in fact, whatever he's putting up this year, I'm there. Are you getting it? So that is what you want to do. You want to identify the resources that people have, those who have achieved what you want to achieve. You want to double in on their resources, and then start devouring them. Start learning exactly how they did it. All right, learn how they did it, adapt those situations to yourself, and begin to move in. That is very important. And the last thing I talked about is to break your year into chunks. All right, great. So I think I've come to the end of my presentation on my end here. And if you have any question, please drop it quickly. I'll address that in 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap up here in this session. Remember, day 3 is coming up tomorrow, where I'm going to share productivity tips for you, strategies that you can use to achieve your goals in 2021. All right. So let's take questions quickly. In the next 5 minutes, I'll be done with questions. Then we can be on our way. All right. Let's be quick with our questions. Just begin your question with the letter Q. Questions with the letter Q. Let's take questions very quickly, and then we'll be on our way. Let's be quick with the questions, please. Okay.